All right, everyone. Welcome back to the RePHIL studio. This is your host, SB Philos4. Looking a little different here in the studio today. Today is going to be a special episode. On this time of the recording, I'm recording on March 16th of 2022. This marks the exact 5th year anniversary of JP Dory, or the Japanese server for the Bang Dream game. So the game has been out for a very long time. It's a really, really exciting time to be a Bang Dream fan. Also, my UNGA Academy Discord server is approaching its 2-year anniversary. In a few weeks, it's going to be exactly 2 years old. So a lot of exciting stuff here. So today, as part of a relatively special episode, I want to have server members come in and share their stories about what makes Bang Dream so memorable for them. So we're going to invite a few members at random. They will be listening live, and if they want to come in, they'll just hop right in and be able to share their story about a memorable experience they have with Bang Dream. One thing to note is that it's going to be a bit of a timer onto it. It's going to be roughly the same amount of time that it'll take you to burn 10 flames in the game. So that's usually around like 6 to 10 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really, really looking forward to hear some of the amazing stories that some of our server members in my Discord want to share. So without further ado, let us refill to 99 as we always do. And let's begin with our first special guests. All right. So welcoming our first two guests onto the studio, we have taerimi, a newcomer here who got T2 in the Valentines Poppin'Party event, as well as Evets, a longtime member and also a podcast guest before, recently getting T9 on the Valentine's Poppin'Party event. So for the two of you, starting things off right, thank you for taking your time to share your memorable experience.
Pleasure to be here again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, the two of you, tell me what makes Valentine's Poppin'Party, that particular event a few months ago, or actually a couple of weeks ago, so special.
Well, for me, this event, I have been waiting for a few years now for a 4-star pair with Tai and Remy, and for some reason they haven't had one yet. It took them a while. And obviously, since I have a very fondness for them in particular, I really wanted to tier an event for them. And once this event got announced, and the fact that it's a Valentine's event, oh my gosh, I literally cannot explain to you how many people were like teasing me about, oh my god, Valentine's is gonna be taerimi. Just you wait. And it happened. Obviously I'm gonna tier high for it. I did. I originally planned to go for T10. Like, I had no prior experience other than ReZero.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's another story. But like this event means so much to me. I can't even begin to explain. It's like if a dream event, literally something in your dreams actually came true. Oh my god, if you told me 3 years ago that this would be happening, I would not believe you. I can't begin to explain. I could talk about it for hours. It makes me so happy. This event was so fun.
Yeah. It's funny because you mentioned like Entire and Remy are your favorite characters. So I imagine, when you saw that railgun card, I think you probably freaked out a lot.
Oh my god. So many people were DMing me about it. Oh my god.
Well, that's really cool to hear that this just was an amazing dream event that really came to be taerimi. And Evets, what about you? What made you wanting to tier? Because you're a guy who wasn't really known to T10 anything, but what convinced you that this was something you wanted to T10?
I mean, hey, it's a Poppin'Party event. It's a Valentine's event. It's got Cosme in it. What more could you ask for?
But there's a little bit of redundancy there. It's a Poppin'Party event. It has Cosme, but all Poppin'Party events have Cosme in it.
Exactly.
So
all Poppin'Party events are Valentine's.
Okay. Well, what kind of because again in the previous podcast episode that you joined us before, you mentioned that you had like a T99 before. What convinced you to shave that 9 off and try to get the T9?
I knew that I felt like at the time I was like, I've been a player long enough. I think I need a T10. I was like, it was like one of those things where like I should have a T10 by now. So I was like, what the hell? Let's go for a T10. And Valentine's Poppin'Party, well, it used to line up with my schedule well, and then stuff happened with Ian Dory. We don't talk about that, but it still lined up reasonably well, and it ended up working out fantastically in the end. It's a Poppin'Party event. It's a Valentine's event. The combination of the two, like, and along with the event story, the theming of it all the cards, especially Kasumi, it was just perfect. Like, I'm like,
a little biased there with Kasumi,
just a little bit. I don't know, but it was. I think it was a perfect event for me to go for.
Great. Well, again, it's great to hear that you two were able to get that really high title. So, can you maybe share a few stories that you had, tiering that event? What makes it so memorable to tier that particular event, the time that you two spent on getting your titles?
I just now remembered that I don't know if this is TMI, but it really did affect how the tiering experience or happened. I had COVID for the first 3 days of the event. Because I had already gone like the bad part of it, but I had missed school, so it kind of lined up well, But yeah, I mean, and for the first like few days of the event, my schedule with time was so messed up. I remember asking repeatedly, like, what day of the event is it? How far are we? Like, I could not tell if a day had passed or not. I didn't even know that I was going for 30 hours until Vince told me. I had no idea. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been going for 30 hours? This is insane. I had no idea. But it was fun. I had fun VCing with everybody because before I had joined the community, I just lurked. I joined during ReZero and lurked. I didn't really talk much, even though I wanted to, but now things are great. I love this place.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The fact that you spent, for a relatively new tiering experience, you just go right ahead and just do 30 hours without even knowing. That's pretty amazing. What an accomplishment. So hopefully no scary senses came in or any crazy things happened in between, but yeah. And Steve, what about you? How was your experience? Why was it so memorable for you tiering that event?
Well, with it being my first T10 event, I did not really have an idea on what really is different compared to top 100s, since top 100s was the highest I've ever gone. And so I was like, I went in pretty like without much knowledge on what to aim for. This is coming from the same person who thought 10,000 stars was enough for a T10, so
that's fair.
So like 10 minutes before the event, I was like still nervous about everything, and I was like, screw this, I'm gonna go take a shower. And
oh boy,
got out like 8 minutes later, made my team real quick, and then hopped into VC and just started playing A to Z for God knows how long. It was a blast, like being a part of the server. Taerimi kept me company for so much of the time while I was filling. And if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be like, yeah, I wouldn't have gone nearly as far. Like, No, really, taerimi. As soon as like the voice chat died, I was like, I'd start feeling really drowsy like 5-10 minutes later. So
What?
yeah,
Oh my god, we watched the Bandori dub.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah.
I completely forgot. That was a time.
That was one of the things we did. Yeah, like during the event, I was like, you know what? Let's watch the Bandori dub. It was just as terrible as everyone said it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was definitely entertaining. It kept us going. Stinky monkey brains. Yep.
Oh my god, stinky monkey brains. Yeah.
Oh, Arisa.
Yeah.
Wow. But again, it's so cool to hear that your experiences of that event went so well. And, I think overall, I'd imagine for the two of you, even though the titles you obtained were quite high, that because it was just such a memorable event for the two of you, especially with these characters involved, that maybe you found it more enjoyable, more, I guess, maybe even easier than your previous achievements in the past. So, big props to you two for that.
Yeah. I remember thinking to myself, I had like over. Oh my gosh! Wait, okay. I over like saved stars like a lot. I was like, I'm gonna get this T10. And before it started, like I wasn't in the roster at all, so I was like, I'm gonna pub it because I'm not in the roster. But I eventually got in the roster, which made me really happy. But really happy because I wouldn't have gotten this experience and like oh my gosh. I wish I could go back like and tier again like that. I can't. Oh my gosh. Once you're like tiering like T100, it's sometimes fun, but I usually always fail mine like Steve.
Hey, hold on. Who said I failed the T100? Hold on.
You did. You failed your first song tiering.
Song tiering, that's different. That song tiering is different, buddy.
Oh boy.
Just not managing to get to snipe any of them, except for the Viva Live event. That one I sniped.
Oh. Nice. Well, again, big props, because I think it really kind of shows that, especially for tiers, if you've really done all the preparation, those higher titles may end up, being easier to get than those lower titles. I'm sure, Steve, you could say the same, that maybe your T9 was a little bit easier than some of your quote unquote failed T100s.
It's like T10 is like a roller coaster. The first like 3-4 days, they're absolute hell. Like depending on how far you decide to push. But like after that, it's just smooth sailing from there on out. You rarely have to play much afterwards, and it's really just like after that, it's just chilling and catching up on sleep and just hanging out with all the fillers like in VC, or maybe even filling more for them if you really want to. Doormatting if it's a versus life.
Oh yeah, that's true. So
on the topic of stars, I actually saved up a good amount. I'd say 50. I went in with over 50,000, I believe, and that's clearly too much. I counted all the stars I used. I used up 22,000 stars by the end of it, and that's including all the cans, which I think I had like 200 of. I was like, you know what? That's too many stars. So I threw the 4 pulls at the gacha and I got the entire set.
I'm so mad about that. You did live and everything. I saw it with my own eyes.
Oh yeah, I streamed the pulls and Tyrion was there for it.
Oh man,
it was great.
Share that luck with us, man.
Yeah.
Hey man, I gotta keep this luck for next year or the end of the year when Kira Festival Cosby comes out. Oof, I gotta be ready for that.
True. So that'll be something to look forward. Again, that's like even if it's the 5th year anniversary, there's still hopefully many years to come for enjoying Bang Dream. So Yeah, all the best, you two, for any future endeavors or future events you may or may want to do. But again, thank you for taking the time to share your side of a memorable memory in Bang Dream.
Pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, our second guest for today, welcoming Kyurumi over from into the studio today. And Kyurumi, thank you for taking the time to share some of your, memories for Bang Dream.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
All right, so it seems like you want to talk a little bit more about a particular event that was actually mentioned in our previous section, very briefly, Viva La Live. So to you, what was Viva La Live like for you?
That's interesting. It was just an event. I was just gonna T100 and just get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just during my day one grinding, where I accidentally got rank 9 those first few hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think one admin from homie's server approached me about asking me if I should T10. And out of a whim, I just said, sure, why not?
Wow.
And also there was a sniper, so I was like, okay, I'll help you out with that.
Yeah, so to give a bit of context, Viva Live was a competitive event. I believe there were 2 servers competing against each other. So, because of that, server rosters were pretty full. But wow, you just, after the first grind, some people just kind of whale baited you to maybe try T10 for that event, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what eventually happened? What happened in that event? How did the event go as time went on?
Well, it was my first time doing a T10,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't really have my only experiences were T100s and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and so I never done this competitive type of Sorry, cut it out. I've never done this sort of competitive type in Bandori before.
Mm-hmm.
So this pressure on me kind of overwhelmed me a bit. As well as some other stuff IRL that kind of hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the original plan was to T100 this. So I only had resources for that T100.
Mm-hmm.
And I only figured out the sniper was coming day 2. And I thought it was at first I thought it was okay, easy T10, got this. And then the sniper came.
Yep.
To add on to that, it was also some scheduling issues. I was doing school at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think day 2 or 3, I had my second COVID shot. Which sucked. I had to tear while waiting in line. My mom kept telling me to get off my phone.
Well, it's funny because again, when people do that initial sprint at the start and they see the rank is really, really high, they may get some whale thoughts of oh, maybe I could get maybe a really nice shiny T10 title or something at maybe 2 or 3 hours into the event. But then of course, as we can see, it's a marathon, right? You kind of have to have the resources and have that preparation. And Kyurumi, I think you learned quite a bit. I think it was still a pretty valuable and fun experience for you regardless.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It was, I never hanged around homie and the other admin. I never actually, that event was my first time meeting them. No joke.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so nice to hang around. They were really fun to hang around as well. I'm glad that I met them. And I'm really hoping I get to tier with them again someday.
For sure. And so you ended up, I believe, getting a T11 in the event. And it was pretty comfortable because you were T11, I think, for a while. And it just kind of stayed there, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. Me and a T12 were looking at T13 and below to see if they were moving. We were just pretty much gatekeeping T10 as much as we can.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But big props to you, Kyurumi, getting a T11. That's something that I want to do in my career, and I've yet to do. I've got T12. I didn't get T11, so I was a little sad about that. But oh well, that's how it is. Yep, that's just how it is. And one more thing before we end off your section here, because I know, Kyurumi, you're also like a it's not just Bandery that you've done like competitions before. I know you play Smash and you go to tournaments and such. So how do you find that competition? Like how do you get nervous in Smash tournaments when you got nervous in this particular Bandery tournament, or how are they like maybe similar or different in terms of like nerves or such?
I don't really participate in tournaments that much, and so just going into it for the first time, it's mostly just being overwhelmed by these people that are completely better than me, but have more time into this game and stuff like that. Okay. So I've been part of your those that Smash tournament that you've hosted, as well as like one Gorilla Bash tournament, as well. And goddamn, I was nervous for both of them. No joke.
Yeah. So nerves are still there regardless. It's competition. There's going to be nerves, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. But, Kyurumi, hopefully you'll be able to conquer those. Maybe we'll see you on a T10 leaderboard soon in the future. I'm not sure if you have any plans for that, but, it's a really, regardless, I'm glad that you're able to have a really great memory of a T11, and maybe cheers within the next year, within 5th year anniversary of Ian Dory. Maybe we'll see you on the T10 leaderboard.
Maybe.
All right. Well, Kyurumi, thanks again for taking the time to share your story.
Of course. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. As a reminder, the RePHIL Studio is available on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And feel free to subscribe to your favorite platform so that you're up to date with all of the weekly episodes. And if you really enjoy it, feel free to leave a comment and give a high rating on any of the platforms you use. All that support is greatly appreciated. If you really want to support my content and the RePHIL Studio, consider joining the Filler Nation by either subscribing to my Twitch channel or by joining the Patreon. Links in the description below. Any support is greatly appreciated. And again, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the Filler Nation members who've been constantly supporting me, and you'll be featured in this video every time. So definitely check it out if you are interested. And for our Filler Nation members, again, I greatly appreciate your support. We have a channel, the RePHIL Academy VODs channel, where there'll be VODs of my streams as well as possible other side projects on the side. So check out the card above if you'd like to subscribe and check out other content that I may be doing in the future. And of course, feel free to join the UNGA Academy Discord server, links in the description below, so that you could be up to date with the live recordings of the RePHIL Studio podcast, as well as contribute to the studio question that happens in every episode. So check it out, and thank you all so much for support. The RePHIL Studio episode will resume shortly. All right, everyone. Guest number 3 underway. Welcoming Grow K9, or Grow for short, on to the podcast today. Grow, thank you for taking the time to join us. So again, Bang Dream is 5 years old. So it's a pretty old series. It's half a decade. So Grow, for you, how did you first get into Bang Dream? Like, where did that all start? Where did that love and passion for Bang Dream start?
Oh, for me, it was more, I started out February 21, so I'm relatively, I think I should be considered a new player by like any sort of margin that, I started in February 2020. Like, for me, it was that, because where I live in, we have this thing called, we undergo conscription, in which I will have to serve 2 years of military service. So right at the end of it, I was just, I was very bored, and I was having some issues myself also. And what came to mind was that, I wanted something to play. I wanted something that I could enjoy, that I could spend time on, and not have to worry so much about other stuff like when I joined uni. And funnily enough, I searched this exact forward as I searched anime songs, rhythm games on Google, and the first link that popped up was a Reddit post that said that someone was asking, what other rhythm games do you have besides Bang Dream? So I just clicked on it. I was like, okay, that game sounds like, people know about it. It's relatively popular. So I just searched it up on the App Store, and yeah, here I am. That was just how it started out.
Wow.
And I joined, I think, at the ending part during the Valentine's event back then. On just a fresh account. I knew nothing about the game. I didn't know what Bang Dream was all about. Like, all I knew was that it's a rhythm game with some anime songs that I like. Then I was just hopping around, just playing some games. Then I discovered Popcorn. Then I discovered Popcorn. Then I was given a Viva account from V0. That Yuki Miura. Then I hopped onto it and I started playing on that account, which was around, I think, 3 days into the Noble Rose 3 event. Yeah. It was quite funny. I think my first interaction with like anyone here was with Noodle. That I was sharing because I was on my original account that I got top 2.5k. Yes, that was the thing. Then I was saying that whether I should abandon that old account so that I could play on this Viva account with Yuki Miura, which it was a card that I really wanted. It was like the first card that really attracted me when I started the game. Then he was like, he didn't believe that I could get top 2.5k again with like 3 days into the event, especially on a fresh account. Then I was like, you know what? I'll just play it through. I just looked around, see what people were doing, and yeah, that was how I so-called started tearing, I guess. I played on the account like 6 days left, and I got, I don't know, 5 days left. Yeah, 5 days left, and I got top 1,000. I think. Yeah, that was really funny.
Wow.
Then yeah, so right after that, I was, because I saw the top 10. Because when you first start out, you see your event rank, you see a section called top 10. Then I see all the big names out there, like Caster, like Fluffy, like maybe they were the top 3 or in that 3. Then I just saw that they shared the same, not tag, but like, I didn't know it was called a tag, but they just shared the same, they had the same words right in front of their names, and I was like, what's that? It sounded like, it looked like very interesting, and I went to ask. Then Nabby responded and sent me a link to the tiering server for the next event, which was, I think, Sunnyside Up. Sunnyside Live. Sunnyside. Then, yeah, that's how I got into this whole tiering shenanigans. And, all the will come.
Yep, of course. What a great progression story from, just learning from the game from just like a random post on Reddit to learning about the community, learning about tiering and figuring out, like, a lot of these gorillas and these whales exist in the community. So again, for someone who is, I guess, relatively new to the game, it's really cool to see that you're able to quickly get accustomed to I guess the community. So Grow, one thing, just based on, your profile, based on your likes, seems like you're a big Rosalia fan. So, what kind of whale things have you done for Rosalia? And maybe is there any future whale things you will do for Rosalia?
Oh no. Okay, so Rosalia started out was more of that, because when I first started out, the covers that I knew, Unia, then it's this game, and there's the Paradisus Paradoxium. Those 3 were covered by Rosalia, and I was like, Yukina sounds really nice to me. I was surprised that, because when I first came in, I thought, it was going to be like just like a copy paste. They would just take the song and they would chart it. But no, it was like an actual cover. And I was really surprised that to find myself, really liking the covers. That was how I started being a Roselia fan to begin with. And talking about World Cup, I have sparked once, surprisingly only, for the New Year Yukina card. The Shrine Maiden Yukina. And I previously had plans right when Band Story 3 Roselia came out back in July. When it came out in JP, I was like, with the 1 year gap, it will fall right into my holiday period in my school. And I could tier the event. And I was very excited. I was, I made the whole server. I was pushing around, I'm going to attend the T1 and like, doesn't matter if I fail, I just want to attempt it. But, speed up happened. And yeah, but as of now, I'm still seeing if I could tier, but definitely not T1. If all goes well, I would try to go for T10. So that is as far as like future will plans. And if needed, I might end up just sparking every Yukina card I see along the way.
Wow. So Yukina is your favorite character.
Yeah. It's not just like a favorite character, so to say, and it's also like for me it's the character story like really like I really enjoyed how the character development came around from all the band stories, and it's someone that I feel that I'm very much I wouldn't say like to call it like a role model to say, but it's it's a character that I aim to has the same kind of story as I wish that I can have. Yeah, so.
Oh, wow. Well, Grow with that again. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure many Roselia devotees like yourself who are listening right now could really relate to how much they enjoy Roselia and the fact that a lot of people are eyeing that Band Story 3 to Spectre event. So all the best in your tiering adventures. Hopefully it doesn't hamper your wallet too hard, but we'll see how things goes.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Grow. All right. Next guest over from, of course, the UNGA Academy Discord server, we have Ven joining us today. And Ven, thank you for taking the time to join us in the studio. And Ven, we've been talking a lot about tiering with all of our other guests, so maybe it's the same for you. Like, how did you first get into the game, and how did you first hear about tiering, and what kind of inspired you to tier for tier in the game?
Actually, like, I got into the game since the English version released, and like for tiering, it's been like 6-7 months, I think. So it's like I'm relatively new to the tiering scene or whatever. So I just kind of like pop in and get some like T100s for the titles or like the events I really like. Yeah, that kind of thing. I just mostly tier for fun.
Okay.
Or sometimes competitively.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty interesting. I'm just like you. I started in the game when the EN server came out, like right at the beginning. I didn't really play it too, competitively. It was very casual. It was only until around, I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 when I actually wanted to start particularly tiering for events. So and for you it was even sooner. So what convinced you? What changed from you turning from like a casual, relatively fan of just playing the game casually to saying, as you mentioned, going to get these like competitive T100s?
Well, for me, the first time I started tiering was the summer Thai event, which was a letter from the sea, and then like just grinded with friends and all. One particular friend is here in the server. She's not listening right now, but I do hope she watches as I send her the link, probably. but yeah, it's been really fun, and I love tiering with her. So I guess I just wanted to go to 100 to match with her a lot of the times. And then I met really good people here in the tiering community, and I've made a lot of friends in particular. So it's really great to see how much of the Bang Dream community has been generally getting into tiering, and it's been really fun. So yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, well, that's really good. And again, the fact that you got in relatively new, and you got into the community relatively recently, as it continues to grow and expand, as you mentioned, with many more people getting intrigued about tiering because of trying to show the devotion for the franchise or for particular characters. So then, when you first got into, I guess, a tiering community, what was that experience like to you? Joining the community for the first time, what was that like? And and how did that grow as you continued to tier more events?
Initially back then, I was really overwhelmed with oh, there's some set rules here. What do I do? And it's just I'm very confused. But as time passed, months later, I started to kind of put that in me. There's a system to tiering. It's a literal system, but it's really fun in a sense, and it's sometimes taxing to do, but it's all worth it in the end for why you're tiering this for, and how you're doing it is essentially the core value of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit strange of how things work at the start. I know when I first joined, I was quite overwhelmed with all these sort of, I guess, standards of what exactly you needed to do. But, it's all for making sure everyone has a good time tiering, and make sure everything is done as well as possible, so people can enjoy the most of their tiering experience. So so again, maybe for our listeners out there, maybe if you're new to the tiering community, that's or maybe are intrigued or interested about the community, we have some people who got in relatively recently and could say that they have great times in the tiering community. Yeah,
it's been really a good time.
Yeah, great. So Ven, I know again you mentioned some T100s, and that's something that you've been working on. Is there any other are there any events that you want to do in the future? Maybe other T100s, maybe even a T10? Who knows?
I'm really not planning on a T10, but I've a lot of T100s planned out for me. So okay. I guess I'll just save up some stars, and hopefully I might get into T10 maybe soon, maybe later.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully that all goes well. Then I know a lot of tiers out there, they strangely think that again, contradictorily, it almost seems contradictory to think that some T100s might be more difficult than T10s, but I guess it's just a matter of resources use and such. But regardless, Ven, all the best in your tiering adventures. It's great to see new faces in the community and already doing very well in tiering. So really happy to have you on, and thank you for sharing your experiences with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, by the way.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, very, very welcome. All right, everyone. We'll have our final guest of this episode join us today. We have Rose here. Rose, thank you for taking the time to join us in the studio. Rose, I think you have a really interesting story, because your tiering story is not necessarily about Ian Dory or even about JP Dory. You were attempting, I believe, to tier another event in a different server in the game. So can you tell me a little bit more about that experience?
So I was this is actually pretty funny. I was looking on Best Story for what events was coming up over here.
Mm-hmm.
But my old phone basically killed itself, and I was like, well, I need something to play, so I downloaded eventually the Taiwanese version of the game on my other phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that, and then I figured, let's Scream has ended, let's look on Best Story, see what event is coming up. And I saw it was Fly with the Night, and then I was like, oh crap, it's starting in a few hours. So I was like, yeah. And I essentially marathoned all the Morphonica fan stories in a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
It took, then eventually, I did start playing. This isn't, and because Morphonica is my like third favorite band at the moment, so I felt like I had to do it. And this was a horrendous experience for me. Not because I hated tearing. Not because I hate tearing, far from it. I think it's really cool and that the people who do it are amazing, but, well, let's just say I'm a bit depressed. A bit depressed, actually. So, I was going for top 5,000 in this, and that didn't happen for a few reasons. One, I was using horrible, horrible songs. I was using Don't Say Lazy SP and Teardrops Expert, which are both horrible. Even though you know my relationship with Unite Native that I have.
Yep. Your relationship with Unite from A to Z is very complicated.
Yeah, I just really don't like even normally listening to that song.
Yeah.
Although, I will say I was having fun playing those two songs I was doing.
Yeah.
However, I just could not keep it up. Eventually got so burned out that I just kind of gave up unceremoniously.
Well, that's pretty unfortunate to hear, Rose, about getting boated, right? It's not something that a lot of people want to experience, but unfortunately, quite a few people do experience. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Maybe did you learn something from that? Like, is there something that you think that you'll carry on? Maybe a lesson learned from that. Maybe in something you'll do in the future.
Word of advice: prepare more than an hour in advance. Don't do what I did. Only prepare an hour in advance, and just don't do that. That's a really horrible idea.
Yeah. And also, again, it was like a fresh account, so I imagine you just didn't have resources. So, like, gaining points was probably like a nightmare.
I had to do the band stories to get any more Morphonica members at all, because...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think actually what kind of killed me was trying some... I think it was LV25 Morphonica experts. Morphonica songs, specifically Sonoras, was killing me, and I was too burned out doing that, and kind of quit, which resulted in... I still have the actual screenshot of my result. I eventually ended up finishing 6,368th place.
Well, that's that's the Taiwanese server, yeah.
I mean, no surprise. I live in HK, it's the main server over here. Yeah, so a lot of people do play Midori.
Oh, yeah.
Special shout out actually goes to T-Rex320, who was the person who somehow got me into this. He's a Ridge Racer 7 player, and yes, I don't know how I got into Bandori from Ridge Racer 7, but it was actually because the BGM in one of their time attack runs was I think it was Teikoku Kageki-dan was the song.
Oh, and yep.
Yup, that is the song I just absolutely fell in love with pretty much immediately.
Sakura Wars, yep, Sakura Wars. So, and again, of course, Bandori covered it. It's always really cool to hear how many people get into the game. It's always like perhaps through like the weirdest ways or weirdest connections, but it just all kind of lines up and it all works well. So, yeah.
In my case, it's also the weirdest one because neither of those two have really anything to do with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, but regardless, Rose, again, thank you for taking the time to like share that story. Again, it's kind of unfortunate, and it's not necessarily the most positive story, right? Because the boat is always not a fun time, but hopefully, as we have the 5th anniversary, as in many years to come with the game, you'll be able to have some more positive stories. Maybe you'll be able to get some good tiering title in the future. So hopefully that works well for you.
Yeah, 5th anniversary is actually coming up for our server in about 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So hopefully we'll hear something good from you in the future, Rose. But until then, just keep rocking on. Keep showing your devotion for the series for sure. Okay, before we go, we're just gonna quickly invite one of our previous podcast guests as well, Noodle, on the studio. Apparently, he has some last words, very important words he want to say. Noodle, is there anything else you would like to mention?
Yeah, I would like to mention something. Minori Hanasato from the group More Jump is pretty cool.
Shout outs to Project Sekai. Minori is great for sure. I don't know. We have some people shouting out to Pomu Rainpuff, and to your Rui Nezo as well. Okay, some shout outs there. Anything else? Any other shout outs? Also, I guess play Toho Danmaku Kagura, right, Noodle?
Are you talking about the Toho Danmaku Kagura for free on iOS and Android devices? Featuring many hit Toho songs from many of your favorite creators, as well as music from the original soundtrack of Zune? Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
If so, yeah.
Yes.
You should play that game. It's pretty fun.
What for sure. Definitely. Big shout outs to Toho Danmaku, to Kagura. Oh, who is this?
Who is this indeed?
What are you doing?
I'm here to shout out the fantastic game Princess Connect Redive, now airing season 2 on Crunchyroll.
Yo, are you talking about Princess Connect Redive, the hit free mobile game on iOS and Android devices?
Of course.
Where you can play as a select series of champions through RPG style combat?
Yes. That's the one.
That game is great. I also heard they have an anime airing exclusively on Crunchyroll where the 2nd season is currently premiering.
Very true.
Bro, do you bring a script or something over? I don't even have like outros as like that formulated as you guys. Come on, man. Come on. All right, you guys are done. We're gonna time you guys out for a bit. Goodbye. Boom. All right. Thank you all so much for listening to this really special episode of the RePHIL Studio today. A happy 5th anniversary to Bang Dream in the game. And the set has been complete. So again, special thanks to all of our UNGA Academy Discord server members for coming in to share their amazing stories about the game. And maybe you have some stories to share as well. Let me know in the comments below if you have any memorable memories of the game in Bang Dream. Not Project Sekai or Pre-Con or Toho Danmaku Kagura. Tell me about some of your favorite memories on Bang Dream for its 5th year anniversary in the comments below. But until then, thank you all so much for listening and watching. The RePHIL Studio will be back in the future. But until then, take care and have a great one. Much love and bye-bye.
That one time where me and my partner picked freaking Go Maniac and we won this in the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. There's like those competitions, the Bang Dream competitions. Yeah, that was fun. I might want to try and bring back like doubles again. I think a lot of obviously with doubles, it's just if you do like doubles in these Bang Dream tournaments, it's like, well, twice the amount of people show up. So, ooh, surprise. Yeah. Host another team bash. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I think team. I think just thought based on the discussion here. Yeah, like team contests. I think would be really cool. I think I'll try and bring that back next time. So after this event, we'll most likely do like a team thing. It's awkward because some people just can't find partners, so it's like you just kind of get partnered up with a random person. But I think overall, I think the team events a lot of people enjoy. So L, I've never seen that emoji before. What the heck?
That exists.
Fungal and Crystal Cavern. What is this? What is this place? I don't even know.
Fungal and Crystal Cavern.
Ooh, okay. Throwing out of Discord. Interesting. Rotmig?
Mig?
Rotmig. Bullet hell What? Permadeath?
What?
Permadeath bullet hell? Yikes.
Realm of the Mad God.
That seems like what crazy people do. Yeah.
Instead of Noodle showing a story, should we just show him playing Toho?
Tiering rosters. Is it okay to join T10 rosters on different servers if there's not much competition? What do you mean by
Oh yeah,
that?
speaking of, when I joined like the T10 roster on homie's server, I joined the other server because I was trying to do T100, and like immediately they wanted me out as soon as they heard of it.
Yeah. You can't join two servers in the same. Yeah, don't join two servers with rosters. That's a little suspect.
I don't know, like, titles, like, I don't have, aside from, like, all these T100s, and I'm like, I just only have T100s, and I don't have T10. What am I doing?
Well,
yeah.
Well, Evets was that kind of person. He didn't have any T10. He only had a bunch of T100s, and he was still able to get a lot of stuff going. So, yeah. So
maybe soon I'll have like a free-to-play T10 on the way.
Ooh, well, maybe we'll see how that goes. See, it's funny because my collections of titles, for those in the lounge, it kind of like rose up, right? Like it used to be like just a bunch of T10Ks, and it slowly grew to 5K, and then it went to like 25K or 2.5K, and then eventually you sprinkle a bit of a T100s or a bunch of T100s sprinkled in, a couple of T1000s. But you could kind of see the progression. So
yeah, like experience in tiering, like you have to start small at first, and then as time passes, you like kind of like move up a bit,
Yeah, exactly.
It only takes like steps.
It's crazy that some people skip steps. Like some people, like when they start tiering, like they're like, they don't have like any titles, and then suddenly they have like a T10 or like a T100, and then like they just don't have any like titles anymore, and it's just like, what? One of my good friends, she like literally her T10 to non T10 title ratio is like the highest ever. It's like I think she has like 5 titles total, and like one of them's like a T10 and 2 of them are T100s. It's just like, okay. Yeah, is T1000 and EN still tiering? It's like
considered tiering.
It's kind of, but like for instance, in this current
more smaller scale.
Yeah, but like currently in this live Beyond event, the Bad Sword 3 Poppin'Party, I'm like almost at T1000, and I'm just burning natural flames. I didn't even like help fill any of the fillers, which I feel kind of sad, but yeah. Logging in is very hard. Unlucky. Oh yeah, good luck on song tier. I'm pretty sure you're song tier next, right? Next event, Noodle? Potentially. I feel like it's gonna be really competitive. Because it's like cool Roselia. Every single person is cool Roselia. So
Rosalia like has the most like range of cards you can expect to get.
I'm kind of I'm thinking about T100 song tiering original call, like because I never song tiered before, and I have all 4 stars, but like I don't think that's that special. like I have all 4-star cools, but like one of them's a blocker, the other one are scores, but one of them's a blocker. I don't know if I think that might not be enough.
Maybe you can try. You'll never know unless you try.
Yeah. Just SL5. Oh yeah, I have SL5 at all. So yeah. You're like 3 for 5. Okay. You'll be T40. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that should be pretty easy. Original Call's a pretty easy song, so. You know, honestly, this it's gonna be a little bit weird, but like I think some of the little inner banter we've been doing might just be part of the episode. Just like all the stuff we've talked in between, like might actually be part of the episode, and just be like, okay, well, that's
like it's been directly related to Bandori, so.
Yeah, exactly.